Hello, and welcome to Story Formula Idea Lab. You're on the Sales Strategy tab, and today we're talking about effective listening. Now, effective listening might not be the first thing to do when you're building your sales strategy out, but it can be one of the most important skills that you learn and practice and practice and practice. Because effective listening is the element of sales strategy that makes you the optimal problem solver. When you say selling, problem solving, why is problem solving matter if I'm selling? Shouldn't I be objection handling? Well, actually, if you're objection handling, you're probably in the wrong business because you're a fail. Because at the end of the day, in 2014 and beyond, consumers are almost 60% certain the decision they're going to make to buy anything. I mean, the metric really says that 80% of people consult an on or offline network before buying anything. The secondary level of that is that 60% of people are pretty certain the direction they're going to go, the product or service they're going to buy, because they've done the research. Mobile media puts tools at our disposal that really makes us the empowered marketplace, the most empowered marketplace ever, making it tough on salespeople. So if you want to handle my objections, I've already done that when I've been doing my research. If you want to help me solve the problem of which product or service is ideally suited to help me solve my problem, then you're a cohort, you're a collaborator, you're a partner in the effort to optimize the spend that I'm about to make. So why effective listening? Well, when I first started selling, people said, "Oh, Arch, you're going to be great at this because I love to talk. I can talk a blue streak," as they say. And in my early years at Xerox Corporation, one of the places where you learn classical sales training, and I did then too. But the first lessons were really about the traditional things. Feature, function, benefit, and objection handling. Because it was our goal to sell them what we had, and only what we had. And if they didn't want what we had, we handled the objections till we beat them into submission, and then they bought what we had. That was the Xerox way, the IBM way. That's the way we all did it in the last century. But as we neared the end of the last century and we started selling a lot more software and services, intangibles, things that you couldn't touch and feel, software and professional services, we became solutions salespeople. And solution salespeople, in selling an intangible, have to be problem solvers. And you have to be adept at separating implied need from explicit need. Now we'll talk about implied and explicit needs later, but you get to that by effective listening. But when you think effective listening, you might be thinking, well, there's active listening and passive listening. When I turn on Spotify on my PC and I'm listening to samba while I'm checking email, I'm passively listening to Spotify. When I turn on Spotify and I enjoy the samba and I stop doing everything else, I'm actively listening. Passive listening, actively listening are neither of what I'm talking about. Effective listening means that you've done your research, you know the industry, you know the line of business within the industry, you know the kind of solution and benefits, the kind of optimization that the individual is seeking to gain by researching the kinds of technologies that they are. And your intelligent, thoughtful, insightful knowledge of the services or products that are being researched and the industries and the likelihood of the environment that they'll be used in help you ask open-ended, thoughtful questions to help the person you're having the conversation with speak out loud about what their goals and objectives are. And you'll discover that those open-ended questions where the prospect does all of the talking are the best conversations that you'll ever have in the sales experience. Because when they're talking, that's when you're effectively listening. But only after you've asked thoughtful and insightful questions to draw out from the conversation what they really need. Because the implied need is that I need a car. The explicit need is that we're going to be starting a family in a year or so, and the car we buy today will have to be able to serve the family 2 years from now. Implied need, I need a car. Explicit need, I need a car that's safe to protect my family. Unless you ask those open-ended questions and you engage with that individual in problem solving, you might not make that car sale. They'll go to someone that understands what their real needs are. So effective listening is an integral part of effective selling. And we'll talk more about open-ended questions, closed-ended questions, implied need, and explicit needs, and how to tell the difference, and how to ask questions that get you to explicit needs, because that's where purchase decisions are made. So once again, we want to thank you for stopping by. We hope that we've shared a little insight on the sales strategy that can help you be successful. And once again, we know we've got our favorite beverage, and we're always here thinking about the things that we can share with you to help you be more successful. So come back and join us often. You can subscribe down here because we'd like to see you again. And bring your favorite beverage and settle in and spend some time with us.